The Georgia real estate market is doomed. Oh my God. This is what we see day in and day out on all of the news headlines. The market is going to crash. The bubble is going to burst. Buyers and sellers alike are doomed. But wait a minute. Is that actually really what is going to happen here in Georgia? Are we actually in a real estate bubble? What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Mischa Thompson, your favorite Warner Robins real estate agent with The Real Broker. And we're gonna find out if we are in a real estate bubble and what the Georgia real estate market is heading into. So let's go. We all know the market is changing. We see it, the shift is here, and it is keep shifting. Thank God it is, because the craziness over the last 2 years, no one can handle it anymore. It doesn't matter if you're a buyer, a seller, or a real estate agent, it has been absolutely nuts. But what do all those news headlines mean that we see on a daily basis? Well, all the news outlets write those scary and compelling headlines for a reason. So you remember them and then spread them. Because if they just write, the real estate market is going to shift in 2022, no one would remember that and it would be boring. So they have to make it scary. The real estate market is going to crash and the housing bubble 2022 is going to burst, and now people remember it without actually reading the article that has the factual data and the truth within it. And 90% of the people don't read the article but remember the headline and then spread it like a wildfire. That's how it all works. But let's check out the term bubble that is so commonly used nowadays. And pretty much people think bubble compares the current market with the 2008 market. In 2008, there was a bubble that bursted and the market crashed. And so we are in a bubble now because we're shifting. But is it really that bad? Honestly, I think it's just making people scared, because you cannot really compare 2008 to 2022. And I show you exactly why that is. A lot of people thought after COVID and all of that forbearance program that a lot of people that went into forbearance are gonna end up foreclosing on their property. But the data shows that this is actually not factual at all. Only 18.4% who left the forbearance program were still in trouble afterwards. And that doesn't mean that those 18.4% actually foreclosed or have to foreclose on their property. So a lot of people thought the forbearance program is going to lead into a mass foreclosure, and that just did not happen at all. If we just take a look at the numbers and we compare 2008 to 2022 when it comes to foreclosures, we see that there is a big difference. I mean, a huge difference. In 2008, we had 2.33 million people that had to foreclose on their property, and that was an increase of 81% from 2007 and 225% increase in foreclosures compared to 2006. Sadly, 2.33 million people had to foreclose on their home in 2008. And a lot of that relates to mortgage fraud and what happened in the mortgage industry 2008. A lot of people who were not supposed to or shouldn't get a mortgage, they got a mortgage. And later on, they realized they actually cannot pay that mortgage because it's way above what they could afford, and they had it foreclosed, sadly. That's how that all happened. And of course, not only the mortgage situation back then, there's a lot that goes into it, but the mortgage situation and how it was handled back then was one big part of that mass foreclosure in 2008. But if we take a look at the 2022 numbers of foreclosures, and I know we're just 7 months in, and there's still way to go, but I doubt we're gonna end up getting 2.2 more million foreclosures in 2022. In the first quarter of 2022, 71,000 people sadly filed for foreclosure. And as of July of 2022, we had 164,580 foreclosure filings. Well, that is about 2.15 million less than in 2008. And that is a huge difference in foreclosures. Everyone who says out there that the foreclosures are going to skyrocket and that causes the market to crash, well, here are the facts. The foreclosures did not skyrocket to 2008 levels, and this is not a reason why the market is going to crash. Yes, foreclosures are up compared compared to 2021 and 2020, but they are not even close to the 2008 numbers. But why is 2022 not another crash? Well, there are multiple factors that play into that whole situation. Over the last 3 years, we have seen the sellers have the upper hand like crazy. I mean, they had the leverage and could do pretty much everything they wanted with the buyers. But we will see more momentum on the buyer side coming. And I know what you're saying and thinking, well, the interest rates almost doubled within a couple of months. That doesn't give us buyers much momentum at all. But that is only partially true. A lot of buyers still hold so tight onto the 3% we had over the last couple of years and think that 3% is a normal, but it actually was not. It was because we had a global pandemic and the Feds lowered the interest rate so the real estate market doesn't stall and people buy, and they achieved exactly that. The real estate market went bazingas, and that caused also prices to increase. I get it, interest rates went up almost double, or they went up double from 3 to 6%, and according to Redfin, the mortgage payments year to date for buyers went up by 43.5%. That is enormous. And yes, that puts a lot of buyers in a lower price bracket, and some of them just back out. But the interest rates do not cause a crash or the bubble to burst. They will cause the market to slow down for now, and we are seeing that as of right now for sure. If we just take a look at the demand factor here in Georgia, I mean, houses are not selling way above list price anymore. More and more houses sell at list price or below list price, and some slightly over. But that is because a lot of buyers backed out due to the high interest rates. And if we look at Georgia in general when it comes to listings and their price being dropped, well, in 2022, we have seen a 30.3% increase in price reductions compared to last year. This is a lot. That's almost double the amount of the price drops that we've seen last year. And most of the time, last year, those price drops were because the listings were already listed a little high. This year around, we are having less demand, so you gotta make it a little bit more enticing for buyers to actually check out your home and maybe put it in a lower price bracket where more buyers are searching for it. I know this sounds like the market is going down for a lot of people if there was not the supply issue. On top of the little demand issue with less buyers on the market, we also do have not enough houses on the market. And we calculate that in month of supply, and everyone's like, what is month of supply? But that is pretty much how many months we have till we sell out of homes if no new houses coming on the market. And in the state of Georgia, we are at 2 months. So not even close to a balanced market. And nationwide, we're at 3.3 months. And to explain the different markets, I'll do that right now. Everything below 5 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. Between 5 and 6 months is considered a balanced market, and everything above 7 months is considered a buyer's market. See, we're at 2 months of supply. We need to get to 5 to 6 months of supply to even get into the balanced market, and we're not even close. So with all that being said, we are not in a bubble. We're not gonna crash. Even the Federal Reserve made that clear lately on one of their blog posts. Yes, we are seeing a shifting market, not only in Georgia, but nationwide. There's no crash or bubble inside. A lot of people ask if that means that home prices are going to go down finally. And let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen with the home prices. But when I read all the expert opinions online, I have to disappoint you because everyone thinks that home prices are not going down. We might see a little dip in the average median sales price, but home equities will keep going up. Not at the rate of 20% we saw 2021 and 2020, but on a normal 3 to 5% rate. And when it comes to Redfin, they actually predict the 11% equity increase this year in the state of Georgia. For the buyer, that means they probably have some more options. And the buyer competition here in Georgia actually dropped down to the lowest since 2020. And when you think about purchasing a home, yes, you got a higher interest rate, but you probably have more options to negotiate now. Maybe some seller concessions, get the home at list price or a little lower. I've seen it happen here in Middle Georgia with some of my clients because sellers do not have that many offers. They don't have 20 offers anymore. They have about 2 to 3. So they don't get to dictate the market as they did over the last 2 years. And if you think about last year, this was an unthinkable thing to happen, that you as buyer ask for seller concessions or at list price. I mean, your agent probably would have told you, yeah, we don't need to write up that offer because it does not make sense. We are not even in the top 3 if we ask for any of those. When it comes to the interest rates, well, all the experts say we are now at 6% and we might get another hike, but in the end, we probably see it balancing out between 4.5 and 5.5%. Yes, that's not 3%, and that will probably not gonna happen anytime soon anymore. The 3% is over. We gotta live with the 4 to 6% mark. That is what we have, and that's pretty much where the market was before pandemic. And for all the sellers out there, last year you could have sold your house easy peasy within 3 days, multiple offers, above list price, buyer paying appraisal gap, and so on. That might be not the case anymore. You probably see 3 to 5 offers at max, more like 2 to 3 offers, and a buyer not paying the appraisal gap anymore. It also could be that your home is staying on the market longer because that's what the homes right now statistically in Georgia do. They are listed a little longer. So you won't get an offer within 3 days. It might take you 14 days to get an offer because the average days on the market is actually now up to 18 days in the state of Georgia. And make sure to work with a professional that knows what they are doing, because if you overprice your home, you will end up with a price reduction and it's not gonna help you. In the end, you will sell your home. It is just a little harder for you now than it was last year, and it's a little bit easier for the buyers. No bubble and no crash. It's just a market correction. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I would also love to hear your takes on the current real estate market wherever you are. And if you want to watch some of my other videos, check them out right here. I'll see you in the next one.